It's late, but happy Easter. I hope everyone who celebrates Easter had a wonderful day. If not, I hope you had a nice, relaxing Sunday. My birthday has fallen on Easter a few times, 2 or 3, I think, over the years. The first time I was 7. And I guess I don't blame my mother for the choice of cake. And I think I've talked about this before. And my sister's birthday is the day after mine. So on my 7th birthday, my mom got a really cute cake for me. It looked like a bunny with the grass and everything. And all the fur of the bunny and the grass was all coconut. Well, I hate coconut. And I have always hated coconut. And she brought the cake out, and I remember I was just immediately disappointed. Albeit a cute looking cake, I wasn't going to eat it. Because the coconut had been mixed in with the icing, so there was no way to have any part of the icing without having coconut. And I remember being so disappointed. But the upside was, because my sister's birthday was the very next day, she brought both cakes out at the same time because, God forbid, we celebrate, tomorrow for her birthday, right? The next day. We were treated like twins, and that always annoyed me. But so she brought out my sister's cake, which was still Easter themed, but not coconut. So I had her cake, and I did not have my own. And I just remember how bummed I was. I know, you're 7, right? I mean, seriously, what are you gonna do? Years later, I felt bad because I could see my mom was like, "Here's your cute cake," and I'm like, bitch, I ain't eating that shit, But, of course I didn't say that because I would not be sitting here today if I had. That is faux show. I'm not sure where I got my potty mouth growing up, but I've really always had one since I was small, young. I remember at one, let's see, I don't know how old I was. I was no older than 11 because I was still living downstairs. My sister and I shared a room until around then. We were still sharing a room. And my sister did something to me, which she did often. She would pick a fight. And then as I was retaliating, one of my parents would walk in, while I'm wailing on her for what she did to me. And I would get in trouble for beating up on her. But, and then I tried to explain it's because she just hit me 5 seconds before you walked in the door. And I'm just hitting her back. I guess the difference was I wasn't screaming and yelling while I was being hit. I was just like, okay, you hit me a couple times and then I'm going to wail on you. And she would. And then, of course, as soon as I start hitting her, she's screaming bloody murder and, parents come in. I should have just started screaming, but I never did. So my dad comes in, and I get in trouble, and I guess I think I was summoned to the bedroom to get spanked, and I had a minute to, I don't know. I was still in the bedroom, and my dad closes the door, but I guess he didn't walk away, and I called my sister a fucking bitch. And my dad flings open the door and said, "What did you say?" And I said, "Nothing." He goes, "What did you say?" I said, "Nothing." And you deny it, right? So he marched me in the bedroom and made me say what I said. He goes, "That's what I thought you said." And then, of course, I got a spanking, but it did not stop me from cursing at all. But yeah, that was my first probably memorable curse, was then, because I got the crap beat out of me for it. Yeah. And then he would ask me to say it again, and as soon as I said it again, he'd spank me again. "What'd you say?" "Fucking bitch." Bah, 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 bah. "What'd you say?" "Fucking bitch." So, yeah. Yeah, I've always had a little potty mouth. I'm not sure where that came from, but yeah, it's bad. I do make an effort to control it around people that, don't really curse, or children. I'd like to say I don't curse around my mother, but that's a lie because I do. And then I get hit in the arm, which also makes me curse. But, what are you going to do? I've always thought that cursing, it was interesting because, as children, we we aren't allowed to hear the words, let alone say the words. And yet, when we grow up, we all curse. I mean, most people curse. Some people don't, and that's fine. But if we're brought up not to do it, and is it because it was taboo that we grow up and go, damn it? What is it that suddenly, is it like, I don't know, because it's grown up or something? I don't know. It just seems like if that should be weeded out of generations. If we're taught not to curse, then that generation in theory shouldn't curse, and then of course it would be gone at some point. But yet we all curse like sailors sometimes, really, which is an interesting expression, I think. Why sailors seem to be more prone to cursing. I need to look that up, that expression. Speaking of that, I was going to try to come up with something, but I couldn't. What am I going to talk about? I have these books. I love expressions and kind of the origin of them, and so I have a bunch of these books, and I don't think any of them have cursing like a sailor in it, to be honest. But it's just one of these interesting. I'm going to plug this guy. I don't. David Feldman. He wrote these books back in the 90s, I think, and I don't know, there's 8 or 10. If you like knowing the origins of things, and of course he does say that they've done their best to research the correct origin, but I have read sort of answers to questions in here, and then read somewhere else a different answer to it. But I don't know. I just always seem to like these. I just took a left turn from cursing, didn't I? But, why we eat ham on Easter. Sometimes the questions are more interesting than the answers. And so, it's the same. Ham's not a very interesting answer. But, it's just, you just don't know these things. Why do you do that? And that's because, since I asked the question, you're probably going, why do we eat ham? Let's see, it started back when fresh meats were not available at the beginning of spring, and they would bury the pork legs in the sand by the sea during the fall and winter, and it would cure, it would be marinating in the salt water. That was the only meat they had, so that was what they ate. If you do like those things, I know Toby too had said she likes expressions and kind of, I guess maybe the meaning behind them or whatever. Anyway, I got a bunch of these books, and they're fun. When I worked at the university, I wrote an article called Did You Ever Wonder? And I would occasionally ask some of these questions and answer them, and tell a little story about whatever, if I had a story to tell about it. So, yeah, I've always been fascinated with that. There you go. Bye.